MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 1, part 2. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Zocdoc. Find local doctors who take your insurance. Learn more at Zocdoc.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Jeff Gamet, Brett Terpstra, and Andrew Orr have joined me in the first edition of the MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide for 2022. This is the second part of that gift guide. Let's go back and let the panel do the talking.
No, I can tie this in as a spillover.
Okay.
Okay. So my next pick is actually a book, and it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic is power. So Atomic Habits is hey, work with me here.
It's a little bit of a walk, but I'm with you.
All right. See, I put in the effort, and that's what really counts. Yeah. Anyhow, so Atomic Power, it's a great book for people that are trying to change different habits in their life, and to get I suppose more focused on the things that matter to them. I see this as a really great book for say you've decided you're going to start your own business, and you want a resource that can help you make sure that you have the right habits, and so that when you're creating whatever your business is going to be, you're not setting yourself up so that you have these unintentional walls that you have to get over. And if you know someone that would totally be receptive to this, because you don't want it to come across like a passive aggressive gift, it's just it's a really good book. It's only a couple years old, so it's not like you're seeing concepts and ideas that are outdated, which is nice. And on Kindle, it's $9.99 hardcover for those people that really like the Dead Tree style, or they really like having physical markup and post-it notes and whatever. $11.98 on Amazon.
That is a great book, Jeff. That's a really good pick. If you're into personal productivity or improvement at all, yeah, that's one of those that probably is in the top 10. So at least for me. So nicely done.
I've never read a productivity book. I'm curious. No, that's not true. I read Getting Things Done by David Allen. I almost read it. I read most of it.
You read enough.
Yeah, I read enough.
The whole GTD mindset, while I appreciate it, it didn't work for me.
Well, none of those, nothing works for everybody. And
yeah. Okay,
I won't go off on a diatribe. That's another show. We'll talk about productivity gurus and what that means and who that's for. And Chuck, I'll work with you on scheduling that in the future.
Hey, that would be a great show, Brett, regardless of whose show we do it on, because yeah, I think we all probably have our favorites. Because they speak to us for whatever reason, so I like it. But that's one I can endorse Jeff's pick anyway, and I can also endorse his. The GTD thing was good, but after a while, it felt like it got a little burdensome, and Atomic Habits didn't.
That's interesting. I took a couple of principles from GTD, and they shaped the way that I created my own personal kind of project and time management and ADHD management system. I could not stick with the whole plan, but there are a couple facets of it that definitely I took with me and I continued to use to this day. But I would never say, if anyone asked, no, I don't follow GTD, but it did shape my own personal kind of productivity system. So yeah, I'm always curious. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. We'll get Mike Schmitz on, and then After we
Yeah, there
describe
you
what
go.
we do, he'll start to cry because we will have bastardized things so much that he won't even recognize them.
He does
I
love
think
systems.
he would appreciate the fact that we have all created systems that work for us.
Yeah. How could you not appreciate that? That's just
Right.
that's life. Life is messy. Life is dirty. All right.
Yeah.
Should I do a pick?
After that, I'm afraid of what you might pick, Brett. But sure, go ahead.
No, I'm excited.
I'm going back to power. So, okay. If you have a nerd in your life, you have heard them complain that power strips, your average power, your surge protectors, your power splitters, all of these things, they always have the outlets in different configurations to try to accommodate every possible size of wall wart and adapter that you're going to want to plug into it, but they never, you can never use every outlet on the thing because something's always going to be too fat and it's going to cover up two outlets no matter how they're positioned. What I found was this one, it's a rack mount power conditioner and surge protector. It's called the Pyle 19, and it gives you a total of 19 outlets, and on the back, 16 of them are on 3-inch extension cords with a 3-prong plug on them. You can plug 16, I don't care what size your adapters and your wall warts are, you can plug all 16 of them in, and then there's 3 wide spaced outlets on the front that you can plug more temporary things into if you have this on your desk. And then there's also one USB charging port, which, we all have USB charging ports, whatever. But it's got one big power switch. It's got power conditioning, and it does function as a surge protector. If anything draws too much input, 15 amp circuit breaker prevents circuit overload. And it's a nerd's delight. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world. It's rack mount. It's designed to work in a networking rack or audio device rack, whatever you got going on. But I have it mounted. It's not mounted. I have it sitting on my desk in between my two 32-inch displays, and all of my stuff plugged into the back of it with the cables hidden. It actually looks pretty good on the desktop, and it solves that problem of never being able to fit everything into one surge protector.
That's just so fracking cool.
That is. And that's not for 19 outlets. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad price at all.
$70? No, not at all.
And you say it's a power conditioner as well. Wow.
Yeah.
It may have just cost me some money.
$70, you'll live. All that like stuff, all that stuff you got plugged in behind you, it'll take care of it.
Yes, honestly, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Brett.
Yeah, I'm looking at the images, and it has feet on it, so they know people are going to set these on desks and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, it's just really cool.
Now, don't mess up your desk, Brett.
Yeah. No, it does. It does have feet on it. He's not wrong.
Okay, there you go. Rack mountable with feet, even. Nice. Andrew, what do you have for round 3?
All right, so I actually have a book recommendation as well.
Well done.
This is a book I read recently, although I think it's been out for a few years now, and it's by Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a pretty well-known scientist, I think, and it's called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. I think it's a really easy to understand book that, he talks about, the universe, stuff like black holes, quantum mechanics, possible life on other planets. But as the title suggests, for people in a hurry, it's just this really easily digestible, accessible book that I think is a good read for people who are interested in science. And it is, let's see. Oh, I guess I didn't write down the price, but I think it's like $10.
Didn't he also do a briefer history of time, or was that someone else?
History Time with Stephen Hawking.
No, he did. Someone did a briefer history of time.
Oh,
And I was thinking it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I might be misremembering.
I'm not
Someone
sure
with a
about that
quieter,
one.
someone with a quieter keyboard can Google check me on that real quick.
Yeah, I tried to type really quietly. A brief history of time is Stephen Hawking. Oh, come on, Google, show me what I really wanted. A brief, come on,
This is good radio right here.
Yeah.
This is the best. Oh, guess what? Stephen Hawking wrote a briefer history of time.
Oh, well, all right.
There we go. We have one plug for Neil deGrasse Tyson and 2 plugs for Stephen Hawking. I like it. I like it. Okay, so for round 3, I'm going to do something for the traveler, who is not like us, who doesn't travel with like hundreds of devices and have all these power needs. This is oh shoot, I clicked away from it because I want to make sure I get the name right. This is the PowerVolt Travel 20. Okay, this will obviously it's a wall plug. So flip down that, and you've got a charger for your iPhone. But if you flip that back and flip this part out, it's a power plug for your car that you can then plug into and charge your phone while you're driving.
Nice.
So this is like 2 little devices in one. I love the fact that it folds down into something that doesn't catch anything or doesn't stick. It weighs all but nothing. And so it's great. It is $30. It's from Scosche. So, another brand we all know and love. Yeah. So, and when they send me this, when it's like, this is going to have a permanent place in my bag, just because too often I've been somewhere and you end up in somebody's car and then somebody's phone dies. And, even if mine is charged with the MyCharge, this will allow me to say, plug this in and stick your phone in, and then you're not sucking down my battery. You're just taking the charge off the car. So yeah, the PowerVolt Travel 20 from Scosche, it deserves a place in your bag.
Nice.
This edition of Mac Voices is supported by Zocdoc. Find local doctors who take your insurance at Zocdoc.com/MacVoices. If your doctor can recite every line from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but can't remember your name, it's time to get a new doctor with Zocdoc. Zocdoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. On Zocdoc, you can find every specialist under the sun. Whether you're trying to straighten those teeth, fix an achy back, get that thing checked out, or anything else, Zocdoc has you covered. Go to Zocdoc.com, find the doctor that's right for you, and book an appointment, in person or remotely, that works for your schedule. Waiting for an appointment that is days or weeks away is so last decade. Every month, millions of people use Zocdoc. The next time you need a doctor, get one with Zocdoc. Go to Zocdoc.com/MacVoices and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's Zocdoc, ZocDoc.com/MacVoices. Zocdoc.com/MacVoices. Thanks to Zocdoc for their support of Mac Voices. That's 3 rounds, gentlemen. So now, if you have multiple things on your list, now you got to figure out which one you're going to bring to the table, because this is the last round. So, Jeff, are you books, power? What are you doing this time?
I'm doing small technology devices, and I'm also going to pick something that a lot of people will be like, wait, what? I'm picking the Echo Show 5.
What?
Yes,
What?
See? Outside the Apple ecosystem completely. What? All right, so here's the deal. A lot of people do live outside of Apple's ecosystem, and a lot of people like me are living in a hybrid world where you're dealing with Apple and Amazon's ecosystems kind of totally intertwined. So if you have someone that's in the Amazon ecosystem and they want a nice small smart speaker, this is actually really cool. I have the 5 because it's smaller, and it sits on my desk nicely, so it doesn't take up hardly any space. So I have a larger clock that I can see, like when I'm working, recording a show or whatever, and I need to know what time it is. It gives me a bigger clock, but it also links up with other devices I have, like smart cameras and stuff, so I can check in on my smart cameras while I'm sitting at my desk. And then if you want to have like a voice or video chat with someone else that has an Echo device, it's just super simple to do. You don't actually have to get someone to install some other piece of software just to be able to do a video chat. It just does it right there. I do leave the little camera lens cover closed. You can see there's a white square. That's actually where the camera is. And if I open it up, there you can. Hey, look! You can see everyone. That's so meta. The little white square goes away when it's closed. White square, so you know the camera isn't usable, and it sounds nice, especially for its size. And I mean, if you really wanted to use it on your nightstand, which is one of the perks that Amazon says you get with this, becomes your clock by your nightstand. It does have a light sensor, so it'll get like really, really dim at night. Mine does not live in my bedroom. It just stays on my desk here all the time. So these are list price at like $85, but Amazon usually has them on sale for substantially less. When I picked up mine, it was like $35. And Amazon does a really great onboarding process. When you buy it, like if you're buying it for yourself, you have an option to have it automatically linked to your account. So when it shows up at your door, take it out of the box, plug it in, and it's already on your network and it's already configured with your account and your settings, and it just works.
Jeff, I have to ask the obvious question. At that price point, how does it compare with a HomePod Mini from an audio standpoint?
I think the HomePod Mini sounds a little better, but I also think that most people probably won't be able to tell because most people don't know what to listen for. They'll just be surprised that for something this size, it has as good audio quality as it does. They'll be like, "Oh, that actually sounds nice." The screen on this thing, Amazon has to be losing money on every sale, especially when they have them on the nice discounts, because the screen on this thing is really nice.
Okay. Wonder what they're getting in exchange for that dirt cheap technology. Could it be all your data?
It could be.
Could
the difference
be the
between
intricate details of your personal life. I don't know. That said, this is hypocritical of me. I'm sitting next to an Echo, and I have one in my bedroom, and I love that when I whisper to it at night, it responds in a whisper. That's brilliant. I love it. I have my concerns, obviously, but
well, I feel more comfortable with the Amazon device than I would with, say, a Google device, because Amazon's purpose
levels of evil.
Yeah, Amazon's level of evil is to keep me buying stuff through Amazon. And they've actually developed a really good ecosystem where I get some value back out of it for keeping me in their whole ecosystem. So I feel like at least I'm getting something for the information that they get. And to be fair, I have to buy so much through Amazon that, I mean, when I went to order windshield wipers and I picked the wrong ones, I got an alert on the screen saying these don't work on your car. I'm like, how'd you know what car I have? And they were right.
Wow.
That's spooky and amazing.
That's well, Jeff. You showed how you can defeat the camera. Does it have a mic cutoff? Do you know?
It does. Right up here, this little button, that
Right.
is a microphone cutoff. And what happens when you turn off the mic, it gives you an audible little bloop sound so you know it happened, and then it puts a red bar across the bottom of the screen.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
you have that visual indicator that the mic has been muted, and then it'll even put a little icon on screen so that you see there that it's been muted. And I do like that you can customize the home screen so you're seeing what you want to do, because out of the box, it's a commercial player sitting on your desktop. But once I turned off all the stuff that I didn't want to see, I have this thing that shows me the date, time, and gives me weather when I need it, and then I just periodically ask it to show me one of the cameras, and the screen just changes and it does it. I hate to say it, but these Echo devices are so much more reliable than my HomePods. I mean, it's more of a hassle to configure for smart home and other automation things, but these things just work.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick. I didn't see that one coming.
I had a feeling you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. Brett, what's your
All
last
right.
pick of the evening?
I want to give an honor with all these book picks. I want to give an honorable mention to the fact that Sandman Volume 3 by Neil Gaiman is now out on Audible.
Ooh.
And the Sandman novels that have been published on Audible with like full cast reads have been just outstanding. And if you followed the Netflix series, the Sandman on Netflix at all, you should definitely check out but that's an honorable mention. That's not where I'm going with this. Since we're buying mostly for tech people, you probably have tech people who own network attached storage devices, NAS or NAS devices, such as Synology or I don't even know, QNAP. They're devices that take like 3.5-inch hard drives and turn them into network devices with tons of storage. And what those people always need is bare hard drives. And right now on Amazon, speaking of the devil, you can get 16 terabyte Seagate X16 drives for $200, which is a pretty darn good deal. I mean, 5 years ago, the idea of a 16 terabyte hard drive would have been infinitely more expensive. These prices have really come down, and most people probably have Synology running a bunch of 8 or 12 terabyte drives right now. So surprise them with a 16 terabyte drive, upgrade their storage, and get them a couple so they have a backup. The problem with these NAS systems is that if a drive fails, you have to replace it with a drive of the same size or bigger. So the bigger the drive you run in it, the more expensive it is to repair. So it's good to always, if I'm going to upgrade the storage, if I'm going to buy a bigger drive, I'm always going to buy an extra for when that drive fails. But according to the 2022 Backblaze drive failure reports, the Seagate 14 terabyte drives were among the highest failure rates, but the 8 and 16 terabyte drives scored well, so they're a pretty good deal. But check the Backblaze drive report if you want to do some research before you buy a hard drive. All of these 3.5-inch bare drives are very affordable right now for the sizes that they're providing.
Brett, I love the fact that you called out the Backblaze report, but also that you didn't just say Seagate bad or somebody else bad. It's fascinating to go through those drive statistics and see that one size can be have terrible results, But
Yeah.
the other size, larger or smaller, like your example, can be much more reliable. So it
Yeah,
pays
well, and
to
that's
take a
why
little time.
that's why Backblaze doesn't come out and say only buy Seagate hard drives or only buy Western Digital hard drives, because there's so much variation between all of the different drives and all of the different lines that they provide. So it's good to read the report and see exactly, for the size you want, what's going to have the best likelihood of not failing on you, which is never a guarantee with these platter drives. They are eventually going to fail. It's just a matter of how soon.
Yeah. No, great pick. Great pick. And especially tying it into the Synology and, and some other, some of the other options out there, because you're going to buy raw hard drives for those no matter what.
Yeah.
And even if you get just like one of the drive toasters, and that's not exactly the best thing for constantly accessing things, but it's a great way to archive stuff. So
yeah, no, OWC, the G RAID from OWC is a great way to create a simple RAID drive using these bare hard drives. You can give yourself a 30 terabyte desktop drive with like RAID 1 for, $500. So yeah, toasters are a great idea too.
Yeah,
I think this is a great gift idea. And you don't even need to understand what it is that you're getting or giving as the gift, because you just know that the person you're buying it for is the kind of person that has a use for a 16 terabyte drive.
Yeah,
this is a really great idea.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, nicely played. Nicely played. Andrew, you're getting the last pick in for this round. What do you got?
All right. So I think keeping up on your mental health is very important, especially in the last couple of years. That's been rough on all of us. And an app that I started using, I've only been using it for a week now. It's one of the more popular meditation apps. It's called Headspace. And I think it's a really nice option to get started with. Yeah. There's guided meditations. There are breathing exercises, a bunch of different ways to help you de-stress and maintain focus. You can meditate with friends. I think there are even live sessions with like other users around the world that you can do. Like I said, it's only been a week that I've been using it, but I feel like it's already starting to help me just focus and stay calm throughout certain parts of the day. I think it's kind of a downside. To me, it's kind of a pricey subscription. It is like $13 a month. I think the yearly option is about $70. But if people think that it's worth it to try out, then yeah, I think you should check it out.
They also, and I've been using Headspace for a couple years now, and my most used feature is their sleep meditations. They have a bunch of meditations designed. They give you some breathing exercises to go into it, and then they basically take you on like a visualization that you are meant to fall asleep to, and the voice just kind of gets quieter over time, and then ends up just with like soundscape sounds, and then it fades out. And it's designed to, within 15 minutes, like you're supposed to be asleep, and it just kind of like lulls you into sleep, and that has been really useful for me.
That's cool. I haven't tried that part yet with the sleep options.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And I'll do a full disclosure here. Headspace did sponsor MacVoices for a while, so I tried it out. And the thing that I liked about it, and no disrespect intended to anybody's preferred meditation methodology, but I didn't feel like there was a lot of baggage that came with the meditation, that you could get started and see some benefits from it without having to, don robes or chant things or whatever.
Ascribe to any world views. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And again, hey, if that's your thing, that's great. But this kind of just really was, okay, we're here to meditate, and that's what we're going to do. And that too sounds like, What does that sound like? I mean, that sounds like almost like directed meditation or being ordered to meditate. That's not it.
It
It's
is
just they just peeled
the
away everything and said, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to help you do it.
the commonly understood term for it is mindful meditation, which takes away any idea of like Zen or any Indian connotations to like what used to be considered meditation, and it's very much it's a meditation that finds you where you're at, and you could almost leave the word meditation out, and it's just about learning to be quiet and still and recognize your thoughts and not be consumed by your thoughts. And yeah, it's just good mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. Good pick, Andrew. Really good pick. Unusual pick, but I like it.
Thanks.
I like it. I was going to end big, and I think I'm going to end small because actually this pick was inspired by a MacVoices Live discussion we just had last night. I've been using these devices for literally years, and I forget about them. And we were talking about the new Apple TV box that has come out, and one of the panel members was grousing about the fact that it's not a stick, and you can't plug it in. You got to find someplace to put your Apple TV, Kelly. And so, mine are in use, and so I'm not taking them off. But if it's a shelf for your flat screen TV that sits on top of your flat screen TV, and the way it works is
you've shown me this before. These are really cool.
These are really cool. The way it has a little lip that hooks over the top of your TV, and then it has two legs that go down that can be adjusted so that whatever the back of your TV looks like, and folks, you'll see this in the video version. I'll have the images up. But the legs adjust, so it doesn't matter if the back of your TV is flat, if the back of your TV is really curved or humped, or even if the two sides are a little bit different. The two legs adjust independently so that you can get a nice level surface. These are not big, although you can get large ones that'll go across the top of some pretty large TVs. But the one that I'm putting in here is 8.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So it's not a big shelf. And they don't weigh anything significant, so we're not risking your TV. But it's a great place if you have a cable box to get it up, off, and where you can hit it with a remote, or the Apple TV, same thing. It goes up there, just fine, and it just gives you back that space that if you're old enough to remember the old tube TVs. You had enough space up there to put a VCR. And if you don't know what a VCR is, then you're really old. But we lost that when we got to flat screens, and this gives it back to you. Doesn't take up a lot of space, but gives you usable space where you need it for those kind of devices. And they're cheap. I mean, depending on which one you get, you can go anywhere from $7 up to like $25 if you want a really large one. But I encourage everybody to check it out.
This requires some space behind the TV, though. Like you couldn't use it on a wall-mounted display.
Probably not if your wall mount is too tight, Brett.
Okay.
But a lot of the wall mounts I see, depending on what size your TV is, but they have the arms that will extend your TV out just a little and let you angle it, and that should be enough. That should be enough.
Yeah. That's what I've got. That would be handy. I had one of those that was like a case that stuck to the back of the TV for the Apple TV. It had like 4 pads that always fell off. And I tried replacing the adhesive multiple times and it always fell off. So something that actually hooked on and created a shelf could be ideal. That would fix the issue.
Yeah. The problem with those, it's like double stick adhesive strips. Is that the activator to release them is heat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I double stick tape has become such a big thing, and it's great until you have to take it off, or until like this, until you want to put it on something that gets warm. Somebody please engineer things just a little bit better. So.
Hey, Chuck. I went to add an idea to your pick, which is that don't limit how you think about this as something that you use with the television. If you have stuff that needs to sit up at the top of your computer display, use it for that too. Because if you have a flat panel display for your computer sitting on your desk, you can just pop it on the top of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've known people that use that for their webcam setup, so that, it's, if they don't have a built-in webcam or they want to have a better webcam, they just get one of these and drop it on there, and it does its thing. So yeah, it's one of those things, you got them, they solved a problem, and then you forget about them because they're just always there. So
nice. Love it.
Yeah. Guys, that's a bunch of good picks. Thank you all for taking the time. I love it when, we sometimes get the gift guides and they're legitimate. They're the obvious picks. Like buy a ham. Well, that's good, but that really doesn't help. So
can I just say
Right,
that
buy a
I
good
feel bad
ham.
for all of the gift guides that have to follow this one. Good luck to everyone else is what I'm saying.
we'll see, Brett.
Right.
That includes me because I've got to come up with gifts for
I
each
know.
one. So it's a real problem. It's a real problem. Hey, let's go around the room. I want to let folks know where they can find you when you're not here picking gifts for the holidays. So we'll just keep the same order if that's okay. Jeff, what is the best place for folks to connect with you?
Well, when I'm not coming up with new ways to spend Chuck's money, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. J Gamet on, basically everything. And most Tuesdays with you, Chuck, on MacVoices Live. And then most Thursdays on In Touch with iOS, Dave Ginberg Show. And then the Mac Show on Fridays. Oh, and the Big Show on Thursdays. And then the Context Machine with Brian Chaffin. Because apparently Brian and I still can't get enough of each other.
In other words, Jeff never sleeps. This is what it amounts to.
Yeah, I need to start working more with Headspace.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Brett, I've kind of lost track of all of your projects. What are your current sets of projects?
Well, so you can always find everything about me at brettterpstra.com. That's 3 T's in the middle. But I am TTSCOFF, TT Scoff on every possible social media platform. And my only podcast right now is Overtired, which you can find on any podcast platform or at overtiredpod.com. And that's with Christina Warren. And we have recently added Jeff Severance Gunsel as a third co-host. And that's covering a lot of mental health, ADHD, bipolar, and pop culture and tech stuff. It's become a really great show that I'm really proud of.
That's awesome.
Great. That's great. That's great. That's quite a mixture of topics, but
Yeah,
with you,
I know.
with you guys, it works. It would absolutely work.
You get 3 ADHD hosts together. It's gonna be a mixed bag for sure.
Hey, thanks so much for being here. It's great to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Andrew Orr, who is taking the tech journalism world by storm. Where can folks find you?
You can find me writing over at appleinsider.com, where, I've been busy since yesterday. We got a new Apple TV, new iPads. So we've been having fun with that. And for the social medias, you can find me mostly on Twitter. My username is @AndrewOrNot. I kind of tweet random things, I think. I tweet a lot of music that I'm currently listening to. So check that out if you're interested.
Excellent. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, definitely check out some of Andrew's things. He's turned me on to some bands that I didn't know, and he's also disturbed me with some bands that he likes. So it cuts both ways. Guys, thanks again. Happy holidays.
You too, Chuck.
Oh, and happy holidays to you, Chuck.
Yeah, I know
Happy holidays.
It feels just a little early, but we got to get in the spirit, right?
That's right.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. We do these gift guides throughout the holiday season. We will be back with a lot more soon because we have a lot of our friends who like to spend my money, unfortunately. Please check the show notes for the links to these and for the master page on the Mac Voices site and to the Flipboard magazine. Everything will be right there. Until the next time, and as always, Thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.